karma. So there's another topic I want to speak on tonight, and it's about Kimora Simmons. It's about a woman who is the ultimate gold digger. She chased behind rich men, and the last husband she had ended up in prison because he stole money. And he used that money to purchase this mansion, this $25 million mansion. Now the federal government wants that mansion back because her husband stole from a fund to buy that house. And Kimora doesn't want to leave. This is just so hilarious to me because this is the lifestyle of a gold digger. Y'all end up with a scammer or a thief who steals money and uses that money, those ill-gotten goods, to buy you things, and then you end up having to suffer. You thought he was just going to be the only one to go to prison. You wasn't going to jail. You thought you were in the clear. But the government is like, nah, you got to get that mansion back. I don't know why she thinks she's going to win this battle. She claims that she put money into it as well. But he stole from a government fund to buy that house. The man apparently has another wife in Asia. This white man that she was married to. I guess he, because he likes Asian women, because the other woman he's with is Asian. Kimora, Asian, right? Yo, man. How did she not see this coming? But this what happens when you with Russell Simmons for these. Then you went from him. Then you went to the actor, Jaye Hansel. And now you're alone. Your daughter, the one that you used to attack Russell Simmons, is actually living with Russell in Bali. Y'all remember the girl that was dating the old man, the old rich man? Apparently she's living in Bali with Russell now. She doesn't want to live with her mother. She's done with her mother. At least, you know what I'm saying? And, she used that child to attack Russell only for her to go live with Russell. That's karma. That's karma. Oh, that's karma. You used that girl to attack Russell. Only when she got a little bit older, she decided to go live with him. See, this is what happens to a lot of you women when you have children with a man and you become the primary parent. You try to turn those children against their father. But what happens when those kids, break out of that mindset? They realize that he wasn't just the problem, you were too. Now your oldest daughter, she's under your spell, but your other daughter is not. That's why she's over there with Russell. So let's get into this story complex. Kimora Simmons is once again making headlines, this time not for fashion or reality TV, but for a sprawling legal battle tied to one of the largest financial scandals in modern history. According to the New York Post, the dispute centers around a $25 million Beverly Hills estate at 25 Beverly Park Circle. The 7-bedroom property is set roughly on 3.7 acres, was purchased in 2017 by Simmons' estranged husband, former Goldman Sachs executive Tim Leissner. In a sworn testimony during 2022 federal trial in Brooklyn, Leissner acknowledged that the home was bought with funds misappropriated from the One Malaysian Development Berhad, better known as 1MDB, a Malaysian sovereign wealth fund that became the focus of a multi-billion-dollar global fraud. Whenever we see funds like this, it's some fraud in it all the way. Fraud in it all the way. Right? I bought the property with $25 million that had been stolen from the Malaysian people. This is what her ex-husband, the white billionaire, said in court. Leissner testified under oath while serving as a cooperating witness. So he went snitch. She married a snitch. He told to save himself in the prosecution of his former colleague, Roger is it Nang? Leisner pleaded guilty in 2018 to conspiracy and robbery charges connected to 1MDB and was later sentenced in May of 2025 to 2 years in federal prison. So he got a sweetheart deal for stealing millions of dollars. Only got 2 years in prison. Authorities have recovered more than $1.4 billion in assets linked to the scheme, though not all properties connected to the case were seized. And that's where Kimora comes in. You see, you know what happens when you owe the government money? Y'all tell me in the chat room, what happens when you owe the government money? They want everything. When they arrest drug dealers, they take everything. They strip everything. They take cars, they take jewelry, they take clothes. They didn't steal money from the government, but you see, the government is going to take all that for themselves. But in this situation, they stole from an actual fund, right? That was meant, to be for the Malaysian people. And this guy only did 2 years in prison over this. I mean, he really must have helped them put a lot of people behind bars, and I think he probably helped them get a lot of that money back. That was probably part of his plea deal. He has to help them get all the money back. So now they want that mansion. They want everything. Police don't just want some of the stuff. They don't just, the Fed, they don't want half of the stuff. They want everything. When you owe taxes, when you have a tax evasion situation, we've seen it to where the feds will come to your house or wherever you live in. Not only are they going to take that house, they taking the property, everything getting taken. You owe back taxes, and this happened with a lot of celebrities, right? They taking everything. They taking anything of value, they taking, especially if you owe taxes. They taking everything you own. The Beverly Hills mansion remains a notable exception. Court filings show that in November 2020, Leisner's holding company sold the home to entities linked to billionaire real estate investors David and Simon Rubin. After a financing arrangement reportedly faltered, as part of that deal, Leisner and Simmons were expected to pay approximately $67,000 per month in rent to remain in the property. That is insane, right? According to the court documents cited in the ongoing civil dispute, no rent or mortgage payments have been made since the transaction. So she ain't even been paying the rent. Simmons has challenged the validity of the sale, alleging it was conducted without her proper authorization. In filing, she claims her signature on certain documents was obtained through misrepresentation and abuse of trust. So I guess she's trying to claim that her ex-husband forged her signature, that she knew nothing about it. You mean to tell me that, gold digger, the gold digging OG herself did not know all of this was going on? I don't believe it. I don't believe it. She don't want to pay that rent. That's what that is. The case involving cross claims between Simmons, Leisner, Keyway Pride LLC, and the property's current ownership entities has stretched into a fifth year. A trial setting conference is scheduled for late February. There is no allegation that Simmons participated in or had knowledge of the 1MDB fraud. The dispute instead centers on ownership rights, refinancing arrangements, and whether the property transfer was lawful. The home itself has appeared on exterior shots of Simmons' reality series, Kimora, Back in the Fab Lane, where she quips in a promotional clip, her name is Kimora, and she's a hoarder, but a luxury hoarder, while showcasing a collection of nearly 700 designer handbags. Well, heifer, you better sell those bags because the government is coming for that house. Oh, they coming for it. I don't know how she's gonna be able to keep this. You got these rich real estate guys coming at you, and then you got the government coming at you. I don't see you keeping the house. I don't. And for her to act like her signature was forged, This the same woman that took stocks from she stole stocks from Russell and gave it to her ex-husband, the Tim Leisner, the fraudster, the scammer. This heifer knows everything that's going on. And people try to, well, she didn't know about the fraud. Are you sure about that? Are you sure about that? If the government want that house, they're gonna get that house, right? So I just thought the story was very karmic.